Your paycheck hits your account, and for a few hours, you can breathe. Then the rent reminder arrives, the utility email follows, and a quick $120 grocery trip somehow becomes $210. If you're on a low or middle income, bringing home around $1,500 to $3,500 a month, this feeling is brutally familiar. Why does the money seem to disappear on contact, even when you're trying? One research definition says you're paycheck to paycheck when you spend over 95% of your income on necessities. By that measure, nearly a quarter of U.S. households fit the label in 2025, with higher pressure in lower income groups. That one number changes the story. This isn't only about willpower, it's about margin. This is Wealth Mentor Pro, where every lesson is a step closer to your freedom. In the next few minutes, we'll unpack why this loop keeps resetting, what most advice skips, and the 3 calm rules that can finally give you breathing room. No hype, no shame. Just a plan that makes sense at $2,000 a month, not only at $10,000. Picture your month like navigating in fog. You're not reckless. You're making decisions under pressure with limited visibility. Imagine taking home $2,400. Rent is $1,200. Utilities, $180. Groceries, $350. Transport, $160. Phone, $60. Debt minimums, $140. That leaves about $310 for everything else. One $450 car repair and the whole plan collapses. The loop often starts here, not with bad character, but with no buffer. Most videos jump straight to perfect budgets or tidy rules like 50-30-20. But when your essentials already eat most of your income, a neat rule can feel like being told to just breathe while you're underwater. The first win is not a flawless budget. The first win is a small shield. Try this today. List your 5 non-negotiable bills and their exact due dates. If we ignore this, we keep calling predictable costs surprises, and the stress stays on repeat. So here's the first real question. What size of shield stops next month from falling apart? Now, let's name that shield clearly. Not 3 months of expenses, not a dramatic overnight transformation. The first target is $100, then $500, then $1,000. The Federal Reserve reports that many people still wouldn't cover a $400 emergency with cash or savings. That's why $100 matters. It turns a small shock into a small problem. If you save $10 a week, you reach $100 in about 10 weeks. It's slow. It's also honest. We don't need a money boot camp. We need a routine that survives real life, including the weeks when you're tired and dinner is late. Try this today. Set an automatic transfer of $5 to $15 the day after payday into a separate savings spot. If we skip automation, we rely on willpower at the exact moment we have the least of it. And willpower is a bad employee. It leaves early and never files the paperwork. Next, there's the quiet mechanics that drain your margin. Timing is one. Bills often land before the next check. The cost of being short is another. Overdraft fees, late charges, and interest are small leaks that keep you in the same place. National Financial Capability data in 2024 found that 26% of adults said they spend more than they earn. For many households, that gap is driven by essentials rising faster than pay. Try this today. Call one provider and ask to move your due date closer to your payday. This simple change can reduce the mid-month squeeze. If we don't fix the calendar, we keep paying a hidden penalty for being out of sync. And then there's the advice to just earn more, as if that alone flips a switch. Income absolutely helps, but ADP research in 2025 found that many people with 2 jobs, and even 3, still reported living paycheck to paycheck. That's not laziness. That's a reminder that the math of housing, food, childcare, and debt can overwhelm even serious effort. Imagine earning $1,900 with variable hours. 1 week gets cut and you lose $200. With no buffer, that loss becomes a late fee and a new card balance. With a $300 buffer, it becomes a tough week, not a domino chain. Try this today. Choose one income lever you can ask for this week. An extra shift, a small responsibility-based raise, or a predictable $50 to $100 monthly side task. If we pretend income doesn't matter, we build a careful plan that still runs out of fuel. So how do we combine protection and progress without burning out? But here's what almost no one tells you. The fastest emotional relief often comes before the fastest financial growth. A small buffer can lower your stress long before your income fully catches up. And that mental space is part of the escape. Quick check-in. What feels like your biggest weight right now? Rent, groceries, debt, or unpredictable income? If you want to, share one word in the comments. You're not the only person doing this math in your head at midnight. Now let's lock in the 3 switches that make this real. First rule, protect a starter buffer before you chase big goals. This gives you stability you can feel immediately. Use the buffer ladder. $100, then $500, then $1,000, then 1 month of core bills. Research from large institutions links emergency savings with better financial well-being and fewer hours spent worrying. A $100 buffer won't fix your life. A $25 contribution per paycheck won't look impressive on social media, but it can stop your next setback from becoming new debt. Second rule, separate your money so your brain doesn't have to juggle it. This creates control in week 3, not just on payday. Use 2 accounts or 2 simple buckets, one for bills, one for weekly spending. On payday, move the bill money first, then your buffer transfer, then live on what remains. If you earn $2,800 a month, even a $50 automatic buffer plus a clean bills bucket can reduce the mid-month scramble. This isn't fancy. It's calm structure. Third rule, cut 1 leak per month, not your entire life. This keeps you consistent without the rebound. Pick a single recurring cost to reduce every 30 days. A $25 subscription, a $40 delivery habit, a cheaper phone plan. If you free $30 monthly and send it to your buffer, that's $360 in a year. We're not building a punishment plan. We're building a plan you can live inside. And if your income truly falls below your essentials, we name that without shame. The goal isn't to pretend $0 can become $200 through optimism. The goal is to create a tiny gap and protect it. An extra shift, a modest raise tied to a clear task, a predictable side income that adds $100 a month. Not glamorous, but strong enough to start a real buffer. Here's the small 1-minute ritual that ties everything together. Day after payday, open your Notes app and write 3 numbers: your income, your 5 non-negotiable bills, and your next buffer target. If the target is $100, celebrate $20. If the target is $500, celebrate the first $50. This turns chaos into a map you can trust. So back to that opening moment. The paycheck that felt like it evaporated wasn't evidence that you're hopeless. It was evidence that your system needs a shield, a starter buffer, simple separation, and 1 leak at a time. Over a few months, the panic quiets down. Over a year, the math starts to shift in your favor. This is Wealth Mentor Pro. You don't need to become a different person to get unstuck. You need a calmer system that respects your income and protects your progress. If this helped you breathe a little easier, you can like the video and subscribe for more steady, practical money guidance. And if you want the next step to feel simple, check out the suggested video on your screen.